Alright guys, Supreme Kami here. So gonna be going over another one of these multi-mission exchange unit here. So this time around we are gonna be talking about the Gouf custom over here because this one only had one EX skill to showcase, so I don't have to farm a lot of these multi-mission coins for the moment because right now we are still having that crew multi-mission. So technically in terms of farming it, that is like probably one of the biggest hassle, if not just probably one of the worst thing possible, because like in terms of the actual multi-mission coin drop rate, it is so horrendous. So I am actually going to be waiting until tomorrow reset when we actually do get the boss multi-mission, that I can probably go ahead and then move over to doing the blue destiny over here, because like it takes so long. In terms of crossbow, I did like probably multiple like runs on this one, so to get everything, because I don't even have it when I before I even doing the video. So yeah, that's why we are gonna be doing the GOP custom over here. I'll definitely say in terms of, let's say, the GOP custom, there are definitely some fairly decently parts to be talking about. So yeah, not bad. In terms of the overall part, we do hit 8 parts to be looking at. So let's kind of take a look at them with the alternator state and see how they are. Alright, so I'm gonna jump over to the alteration tab and see what's going on. So I know that in terms of the leg part is probably one of the best one you want to be targeting, because it does have kind of like a universal EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. I believe that one is gonna be tied down to P attribute, but I think that's pretty much fine. Alright, so GOP custom, so let's kind of take a look and see how it is. So style wise, obviously don't even pay attention to that because they are seemingly going to be fairly low, obviously. So right off the bat, this one, get one copy and get out of here because the both portraits, like what are we doing here? So in total, wait, so when armor is 60% or less, then you can get that one. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, this one is outright just bad, so I would just definitely suggest you guys to get one copy if possible, and then move on to the next part to see if it's good. All right, so torso, is it worth getting? The first portrait is good already. So if you guys are like starting up, for example, and you guys need these kind of EXQ CD reduced part right here, there you go. This is going to be another one of those handy dandy part that you can be getting. Kind of keep that in mind, this is only sitting at 15%. Normally speaking, 20% is probably the best number you want to be targeting. I guess you need 5 of these parts. Like, normally speaking, if you talk about 20%, you will need roughly about 5 parts to kind of get everything up and going to a 100%. If you talk about 15%, you might need an additional one, for example. So they're not that they're bad, it's just that it doesn't feel as in terms of like the actual refresh rate, non 100%. It does tend to take a little bit longer. So but nonetheless, if you guys are new, this is definitely a fairly good one to be targeting, so not bad for sure. But in terms of altering it, I don't think it's not worth it at all, just because crit don't really exist in this game. So yeah, this is definitely a no-go for alteration, but first portrait is definitely a must-have for sure. Alright, so in terms of, let's say, the armor here, we do have an EX skill, the Heat Rod. So this one, prior to alteration, it is going to be sitting at D power. So obviously, right after alteration, it is going to be hit like a truck for sure. So I definitely do want to see how this EX skill looks like. So yeah, I never actually used it myself. So yeah, definitely excited to try it out. Right, so moving over to the leg, probably the more prominent, or probably the podium part of the bunch over here. So this one, first portrait, obviously is like close shot attack, so not really that good in a way, because you do have to be in close proximity, and then in terms of the raise, it's only 14%. So it's just not gonna be good. For secondary portrait, definitely a very best one over here, coming in at 20%. So I, even me myself, I use this on my build. If, for example, I have two, like, portrait that have something of this over here. I have the Banshee Norn, but that one is tied down to a rival category. So when I'm doing my showcases, when I'm not using a rival category weapon, for example, I tend to use this one for it, just because this one doesn't really have any kind of restriction except for only using a P attribute, so which I'm already using. So I tend to favor this one a little bit more over to the Banshee Norn leg, just because of the flexibility that this one offers me. So this one, 10 out of 10 would recommend alterating this one. Max it out. This one's probably going to be the best part of the set. Right, so moving over to the back part here. So what are we talking about? Oh yeah, this one. No, yeah, this one is not having it. Although this one does have a burning consumption reduced by 20%. So if you do want to do, for example, like a very fun build, for example, where you can play around with, let's say, the consumption or like the burning consumption, for example, I think this is definitely a fairly interesting part for a fun build owner, right? Nothing meta, nothing that's gonna allow you to output more. This is simply for funds, right? Just for like a playdate, for example. Because technically, I don't think we have too much of these over here, like directly reducing your energy consumption. So I think this is could be a fairly exceptional part. So if you guys are up for fun, for example, I don't think this is a bad candidate to get. Just kind of keep that in mind in terms of grinding up those multi-mission coins. They are a pain. They are definitely a pain. So I would definitely say this one do reserve it for like kind of like a, I don't know, for like a last resort if you do have extra coin, for example. So yeah, definitely a kind of like a fun portrait to be talking about. So all right, so let's take a look at the heat sword here. Okay, I do see a fairly decent secondary portrait, so that is commendable, obviously. But in terms of the first portrait, it just not really good. It's only for that strong melee attack, so it's only gonna be when you're equipping with a physical melee weapon, doing normal attacks, like the very last hit, the strong, so the strong melee slash. So this one is honestly kind of bad. If you do take a look at the stat, this is what we're rocking with. So this is quite terrible. So if you guys do have any better options out there, this is definitely not a recommendation. It's good, you do get some power boosting, but at what cost, right? So, but on the other hand, if you really need it, for example, don't let me stop you from getting it if you guys do need it. Always trying to get something that is going to be beneficial to your box. I'm simply only recommending based on how I feel about them, and in terms of longevity wise, like I'm pretty sure people would invest into a good melee weapon. So I just don't think this one on a good terms is just not really worth farming up. So yeah, it's good. I can't ignore the fact that it does give you a 30% melee boosting, or yeah, max out 30%. But in terms of all the other stuff, like this one kind of sucks. Style wise, it's just not really having it. You do have some pretty bad word tag combination over there. So yeah, it's just all around, it doesn't favor this part all much. So I believe if you really need it, definitely go get it. Don't let me stop you from doing that. So yeah. Alright, looking over at the whip, or this not the whip, the heat rods. So this one, just no, simply not an option. This one does give you like a job gauge boosting by 13%. I don't think that's too special in a sense. Then secondary portrait, just alright, not good. 26% chance of attacks penetrating super armor. No, we're not doing that here. So no. Alright, so let's take a look at the Gatling shield. So kind of keep that in mind, this is going to be the actual ranged weapon plus the actual shield, and this one is lining it on a Gatling category. Is kind of on a pretty bad stalemate here, just because of the fact that we don't really have too many big scale. That is, let's say, the Gatling category, and even if we do, I believe that is only limited to a limited suit, so obviously not going to be obtainable via a lot of people. So let's kind of see. Oh yeah. Now this one is not that good. This one is probably reserved for more of like a fun build in a way. Magazine boost by 20%, so that is like your normal attacks. It does have like a bar. I'm pretty sure you guys do know this already, but every time you shoot, for example, that bar depletes. So this one is simply just boosting magazine. So this one does allow you to just have more normal attacks. So it's kind of good in that sense, but not really that special in a way. In terms of the second portrait, this one honestly could make a good combo with these two together, because this one reload speed boost, right? So not only are you getting an increased magazine, you're recharging faster. So that, honestly, this one could make a fun play in a sense. So I wouldn't knock that out. But overall, if you don't care about these two portrait, they are just not gonna be good. So I would definitely say form up one copy and just call it a day, because I probably would not even be using this on a normal basis anyway. So it just kind of like it's just one of those funny portrait, right? So I guess up next, let's do talk about the actual using the actual hit rod in like a quick multi mission and just kind of see how things goes. And all right, so we are at the multi mission. So let's kind of take a look. We only do have one EX skill, so this should definitely be pretty fast. So what? Oh, have we seen something like this before? I'm pretty sure we have. So this is not a fairly intriguing, EXQ animation, but I guess the flip does look pretty cool. In terms of this overall build, I just put this onto my dual cooldown reduction type build, so that's why in terms of the actual output, is nothing great. So I mean, like we do have some pretty good AoE attacks. Would you say that? All right, yeah, I'll take that. It's not bad. It does have some pretty good spin going on, so not bad in my opinion. So okay. Alright, let me try to get some normal attacks in right now. So just want to see the overall animation. So yeah, I'll definitely say it's good, but in terms of the actual whip itself, I do wish that it could, it can be like maybe like a long range. I'll definitely love that. If it does have that, but overall speaking, is yeah, I don't know. But I say this is a good EXQ. It definitely does look pretty cool. I'll definitely give that a go. So not bad. I just, yeah, like I said again, I just do wish that in terms of the range it could be better. But we are able, like, if your enemy are literally dead right onto you, you are literally gonna get some good kind of like a semi AoE attack, if you will. Yeah, because you are gonna hit everyone within the vicinity. So that part I guess is good, but if the range, man, if the range is a little bit better, I'm pretty sure we could get them just a little bit better. I don't know, like I just wish the range is better. So but in terms of the overall damage marker, it looks like we don't really have that much. So we have the last hit obviously, and then we have the beginning hit. So all right, yeah, that's good. So not that much hit, right? So we have one at the beginning, and then we have another spinning one towards the very bottom. So all right, so let's kind of take out these guys over here, and yeah, you guys can see that we are seeing multiple damage markers. So definitely a result of a AoE, kind of like a semi AoE over here. So I just want, like, have you ever got knocked out from this animation? I don't think so, right? Like, does this even have iframe? Potentially, but I don't know. Okay, we didn't kill it. So can you? I guess like, oh, I guess this one may have iframe just because in terms of the nature of this one, you instantly flips up already. So by the time your enemy does, let's say like that, what is it? That dawn right there, like shooting out that route of bazooka. Like I was already up in the air, so that's why it didn't really target me. So I'm expecting, I don't know, like just like I didn't even get knocked out like while using it. So I'm assuming right now it just have iframe. Yeah, I could be wrong. You guys can definitely let me know. Have you guys experienced any knockdown like when you're using it per se? But overall, it's not the worst. But I definitely do have a little bit of a complaint, just wishing that the range should be longer. And then yeah, so I guess we'll definitely test it out in a quick friend battle. I do want to test it out prior to alteration and then post alteration, so you guys already know the deal. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it in terms of the review for the Gouf custom over here. So in terms of EXQ, up to alteration, you guys have seen a massive boosting in terms of the overall performance. So I'm definitely happy to see that. So definitely with the proper alteration, this one is smacking up the enemy left and right. So I think this is honestly a fairly cool EXQ to be using. So not only does it look kind of cool, have that spinning effects, and then being able to output damage is honestly pretty good. So definitely like night and day prior to alteration and then after alteration. So I'll definitely give it a go if you guys do have extra of those blue. I think those are light out badges going on. So not out badges, alteration too. So they're definitely gonna it's good. It's definitely pretty good. Besides that, we also do have some few parts that has some pretty good part rate. So those are definitely something that you don't want to miss out within these 2 weeks over here. So but with that being said, that's it gonna be for this video, and then I'll catch you guys all on the next one.